Creatures of the night. Sometimes I just don't get what I want in life, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Last night we did have the New Japan, New Beginnings in Osaka pay-per-view. Really great show. Before I get into the results of that show, I have to say, if you are a wrestling fan and you are not watching New Japan, you are missing some of the best of pro wrestling right now. I know for some people who watch wrestling in the United States or within Europe, it's a different vibe. Sure, I get that. It might take some getting some used to, but when I tell you, like, these wrestlers are no fucking joke. They give it to us every single time. I am absolutely loving what we've been getting with New Japan and also other promotions within Japan. I just feel like I'm hoping that with my reviews on New Japan that would hopefully get some people to go ahead and check out what's going on over there. Now, this pay-per-view did come on a little late. I only watched a little bit of it before I went to bed because I had to be a responsible adult and make sure I was going to be up and ready for this thing called work. Why these people are bothering me, I have no clue. Why can't they just pay me to watch wrestling? That would be better. All right, so let's talk about the results of the show. We did have United Empire, which is Francisco Akira, teaming up with Jeffrey Cobb, going against El Desperado and Katsura Murashima. Not bad for a pre-show match. Typically, I don't really care too much for the pre-show match, even though they might be alright, which was not bad. The one thing that I kept seeing everybody talking about, not necessarily focusing on the match, was how Jeff Cobb was leaving New Japan and that he will be going to AEW to continue his wrestling career. This is just speculation and nobody truly knows what's going to happen. Jeff Cobb has wrestled a few matches, a handful of matches, I don't even think 5 matches within AEW. So if you guys are not familiar with Jeff, he is really, really very interesting, great wrestler. We love meaty men. Now let's go into the main card. President Tanahashi, the only president that I acknowledge, went against Togi Makabe. Not bad to start off the show. We got to start off a little light. President Tanahashi on the final road here up until he has his last match at Wrestle Kingdom 20. So it's a little bit of a warm-up. I do feel like you're not going to see the best out of him. Not yet, not yet. He's giving us what he can, but I do feel like within those, as we get closer to Wrestle Kingdom 20, we'll see a little bit more out of President Tanahashi. President Tanahashi ends up taking the win. Go Ace. We love our president. Next match, when things really started heating up, though, Shingo Takagi going against Drilla Maloney. Drilla, oh my God, he's the man of my dreams. Lord have mercy. I don't even know what to say. You know what I really loved about this match? One thing that kept catching my eyes was Clark Connors, who is over there by commentary. He got his beer. He's turned up for his bestie. And I love when I see things like this, especially like when, people within factions, they get on commentary or they're in the sidelines just cheering and hyping their bestie up. I love that type of vibe. And that was literally Clark, who was just being a cheerleader for Drilla the whole time. And this match was really, really great. Something about Drilla, besides him being a good-looking man, I see something promising with him, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for him. And he ends up taking the win. I did think Takagi was going to win, but Drilla ended up taking the win, which was a little surprising for me. I thought this was a great match. After this is, I don't know, Shota Umino versus the Great Okan. What do I even say here? Shota Umino's for the kids. That's number one. I just don't know what the disconnect is when it comes to Shota Umino. This was a hair versus hair match. Y'all already know Great Okan barely have any left. So for me, I was like, well, if he had to shave his head, which is already half shaven, maybe that wouldn't be so bad. Shota Umino does give that pretty boy, J-pop type of look. Evel Knievel type of look or whatnot with the pink hair, and I didn't really see him losing this. Something about Shota is that I see the potential. I really do. I don't know if the crowd and fans are connecting with him that way. You hear the children and the women making some noise for him, but it's something about it that's just not clicking yet. But I'm pulling for our boy. I'm pulling for our boy. The chemistry between these two guys were not bad. There was a few times where Shota did miss his footing within this match, so there were some parts here where mistakes could have been possibly injuries at this point. But the Great Okan actually ended up taking the win, which really surprised me. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? The Great Okan held down Shota to shave his head, and Shota was just like, nah, bitch, no, I ain't gonna let you do it. If anybody gotta do it, it's just gonna be me. And Shota ends up shaving his head, and it was so funny because when that happened, Kyle Fletcher had posted on X saying, oh, all y'all trying to be like me. And I'm just like, what the hell? Y'all remember Kyle Fletcher a couple of months ago shaving his head on Dynamite? Same type of vibes almost. And I'm just like, whoa, like he did like a couple of, got a little bit off or whatever. He looked crazy as fuck, and he just laid there. And I was just like, bro, just laid there until the cameras go off. You look crazy right now. Shota Umino, I think he's a great wrestler. He's young. He's gonna have time to get there. It's one of those situations where it's like, we gonna get there when we get there. We don't know when. Up next, we had Sonata. Sonata in that outfit that he had on. I'm not gonna lie, I was enjoying the view. The cameraman got some good photos of Sonata. He is looking like GM would say, like he's having like a midlife crisis right now. The look at first I was like, what are you wearing? But I'm with it. We'll see what it's given at some point. He comes out there, have a match with Taichi, and I thought this was really great. It wasn't going to be looking good for Taichi anyway, because we knew that there was going to be post-match beatdown with the whole group, which actually turned out to happen. However, we did have a return. Yuya Uemura came back from his injury and saved Taichi, so that right there, a new little storyline has been born. So we'll take that for what it is. Another great matchup. Sonata, the fashions, he's not known for fashion, but the fashion he's been having lately has not been it's not up to par for me, but still a good looking man, and I'll take that. Really great matchup. Now, we did have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Championships on the line. We had the Ichiban Sweet Boys versus Roppongi Revice, obviously Rocky Romero and Yo. Let's just say the titles didn't go anywhere, and I wasn't expecting that because obviously Robbie and Fujita, they recently got these titles. I wasn't really expecting for it to go anywhere so soon. Yeah, y'all already know Rocky Romero. When Rocky Romero is there, he's just there helping, putting over the talent or whatnot. So it's always usually a spoiler alert when Rocky is there, but he always brings out some of the best out of a lot of these guys. They end up taking the win. Now after this, we do get Ishimori, who comes out and issues a challenge for the Junior Heavyweight Tag Championships. He says he's going to be teaming up with Robbie X to go against the Ichiban Sweet Boys. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. Now, here, when I tell you they turn up in this match wasn't even this long, okay? Maybe slightly over 10 minutes or whatever. Oh my God, Boltin Oleg versus Takeshita, Lord, for the never open weight championship. I don't even celebrate Christmas, and I just felt like this match was for me. Takeshita, it never fails. Everything this guy does is absolutely beautiful, and Bolton obviously is an amazing wrestler as well. And I'm watching this match, and I'm just like, they are cooking. They are so cooking, and I'm just like, if Bolton is not on Forbidden Door this year, Tony Khan, you're doing this whole shit wrong. This whole motherfucking shit wrong. Takeshita has been doing his best work since he's won this international championship. And I do want to say that this has also been a concern for some fans because they're saying that Takeshita is doing so well outside of AEW that he doesn't even need to be in AEW. Now, I'm not going to say that I feel the same way. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I feel like with him having an international title and to be able to travel and face various different types of people. It just keeps that door open for him to face all types of people, versus in AEW where it's just the same people within that AEW bubble. And Takeshita is more comfortable with a lot of these guys who have that that New Japan strong style that I think he just works better with in comparison to the guys in AEW. Fantastic match. Our boy Takeshita does retain the Never Open Weight Championship, and he looks freaking amazing doing it. I am really concerned about who's going to win the international title after Takeshita, because I'm like, you got some big shoes to fill. If you're a fan of Takeshita, you need to be seeing what he's been doing outside of AEW, his absolute best work since he has won the international title. I know that title was on the line in this particular match, but he has just been absolutely amazing. After this, though, we have Ryohei Oiwa, who comes out and confronts Takeshita, basically saying, bitch, I'm next in line. I want that title. That is going to be amazing. I don't even remember what show was up next, but there might be in the next show. I'll let you guys know about an update when it comes to that match. Next, IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships on the line. We do have Hiromu Takahashi, he's so cute, teaming up with Naito, going against the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks had won this title not even a month, was it a month ago? Slightly over a month ago, okay? And let me just say, the match was great. The Young Bucks, which one is it that wear the pearls? Matthew, whichever one is it? Had the big ass, like what is it? Clear and black pearls, something of that effect. They look absolutely insane with the fashions, whatever. They've been actually in Japan this entire time since they've won the tag titles. And I've been seeing them posting things about their little adventure over in Japan past few weeks or whatever. Y'all know I'm not a fan, so I don't give a fuck. Now, I am just going to say this. While I thought this was great, I was absolutely shocked to see that the Young Bucks lost these titles tonight. I did not expect that at all. I thought, well, look, did I expect that Naito and Takahashi to win it at some point? Absolutely. But not in this short of amount of time that the Young Bucks would have ended up losing these titles. My thing here is, it's giving very... we're from AEW, so the same AEW bullshit booking, we're bringing it over here. I am over it where it comes to situations where it's like, it's all about what we win and not what we do as champions. I'm just like, I don't understand like what it is where it's just like we just want to have another set of titles to put on our walls rather than being remembered for what you've done as a champion. And honestly, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that at all. I'm not shocked though when I think of it this way that the Young Bucks are probably saying, holy shit, the Hurt Syndicate, they got the titles over there in AEW. It's time to see what we can get over there. That's probably what's going to end up happening, which I hope is not the case. I don't want to make this too much into an AEW type of video, but that's the kind of vibe it was giving me after that match. I was very surprised about this. And I was just like, why not have had these guys had the titles for quite some time? I was actually thinking maybe, at least, the very least, with them holding the titles up until Windy City Riot in April. That's what I was thinking about the Young Bucks with these titles. And I was very surprised to see that it didn't even get that far at all. I am so surprised. Really great matchup. Y'all know it hurts for me to say nice things about the Young Bucks, but they're very talented tag team, and a tag team like that being in Japan would have been really, really great for them to have, but obviously that was very short-lived. I'm not looking forward to them coming back to AEW. Alright, the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, Yota Shuji obviously being the champion. We do have Gabe Kidd, who's also a champion, but he's going for this title. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm just like, alright, what we doing here? It's either that Shuji is going to retain his title or Gabe wins this. And I was just like, I don't really see why it would be that Gabe would win this. So these two guys, this might have been the longest match on the card. I'm not entirely sure, but it felt like the longest match on the card for sure. Man, they towed up. They tow it up, and I'm telling you, President Tanahashi, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in wrestling right now. All I know is that you better put all your money on Gabe Kidd. This guy is so promising. This guy, I'm looking at him, and he's my type of heel. I absolutely love those showboating type of heel. He's great. He's absolutely amazing. And I just felt like Tsuji shouldn't lose this. Like, why would he lose this today? And I felt like it would have been best case scenario for a draw. And I'm just like, well, we already seen Gabe Kidd in several situations in a draw recently, and that's exactly what happened in terms of a knockout. I was like, what the hell is going on here? So both of these guys were knocked out at the very same time, lay the fuck out, and referee counted, ring the bell, nothing we could do. Both these guys are laid out, and after the bell is rung, they're with all their might trying to get up and still beat the shit out of each other. Like, hey, I know, weak ass dude, I would have keep fighting. Like, they both was trying to find whatever they could out of themselves to continue fighting, but they were weak ass fight, so they couldn't do it. And I think that was the best case scenario with a double KO, simply because Tsuji shouldn't lose this title, not yet. And then Gabe already has a title, and it's like, we're going to give them what they want, the fans what they want, by having this matchup, but letting everybody just pretty much come in the way they came in. You know what I mean? And it was a really great matchup. And we did also have post-match shenanigans as well. What would wrestling be without that? Now, after this, we did have House of Torture coming out there. And for whatever reason, surprise, surprise, Evil returned. Everybody and mama losing their shit about it. Good, he's back. And this was so funny. They were making it seem like they were going to help Gabe Kidd, and Gabe Kidd kind of felt like, I don't trust y'all. And then after a while, he was like, you know what? Y'all can help me up. I am feeling a little weak. And as they're helping him, they snatched his ass up, and Evil have attacked him. And I'm just like, holy shit. Now we got this thing obviously going to be brewing within the War Dogs and the House of Torture. I am loving where that is going. However, the main event, oh my God. Let me tell you, I went to bed and I said, I ain't gonna worry about it. Our front man, Zack Sabre Jr., we don't have to worry about it. Everything is good. I was heartbroken. IWGP World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Goto versus Zack Sabre Jr. Goto hasn't won a title since, God knows, he hasn't won this particular title at all in his career. So everybody and their mama is rallying behind him. They want to see him, with this title. I get it. However, Zack Sabre Jr. has only had this title for, what is it, like 4 months? Something like that, for close to 5 months, around that. And something about it where maybe I'm being a little biased and that's my guy or whatever, but I'm like, all right, he'll win. Maybe y'all run it back at some point and Goto will get his opportunity. And that didn't happen. Zack Sabre Jr. actually lost, and I was stunned, absolutely stunned. And man, he did amazing. I'm not gonna lie, this wasn't my favorite match from Zack. But, we got some great stuff out of him. And am I mad that he lost the title? I'm a bitter Betty about it. But I do feel like Goto would be a great champion and it's long overdue. So no hate towards me or whatnot. But it was very interesting to hear how some of these fans were talking shit about Zack Sabre Jr. after this. A lot of people were saying that they're glad that he lost because his title reign was shit. That he is just some technical wrestler who's not interesting, and his matches are boring, sometimes too long, and all that stuff. I was like, wait a minute, I really didn't really see any of these type of comments up until today, which was very interesting because a lot of people for me, at least the consensus was a lot of people has, enjoyed Zack Sabre Jr. They think that he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Not everybody, but it seems like the majority has thought so. And the amount of happiness within the wrestling world when he won the G1 and also won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship was just astounding. And then all of a sudden it just seemed like everybody was just like we don't like Zack Sabre Jr. And that right there, that crushed me. I was just like, oh, very interesting. This was actually a really great show. A couple of surprises here for me, and I just want to say, like, I hope that people are encouraged to check out what's going on over there. And another thing with the partnership with AEW should also be helping people, going over to see what's going on within New Japan. There's some really great wrestling out there. So if you didn't check out this show, or if you've never even checked out New Japan, go ahead and check out like highlights from New Japan and just see what they have to offer. I'm pretty sure you won't regret it. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I'll be back on Wednesday with Dynamite, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.